All right. Hey guys, welcome back to some crypto. In today's content, we'll talk about BTC. We'll talk about BTC on a macro scale, and we're also going to talk about BTC on a lower degree and what type of short-term pullbacks or short-term support we could anticipate over the next like a few hours or even like a few days, right? And all that good stuff. So if you're new to our content, don't forget to hit the likes. Don't forget to join the public Telegram group, link in the description. If you're looking to join the premium group, link in the description also, and all that good stuff, right? It is about to be alt season. We should start alt season hopefully before end of November and all that good stuff. Excuse me, basically getting ready for those parabolic moves in December and January, right? So it is time to start like paying attention to alt. So we will start paying attention to alt next month and all that good stuff, right? So I'm working on these alt setups, guys, these 10x, 20x moves within the next like a few months, right? So now let's dive into the analysis regarding BTC and all that good stuff, right? So if we basically recall what we said regarding the 3 weeks time frame, right? I guess only Sun Crypto pay attention to the 3 weeks time frame. And as soon as we open the candle right here on October 1st, what we said was like the only thing we need within the next 3 weeks, right? It is just to close above 60K, right? If you guys remember, I said let's just stay bullish, right? And we could close above like a, let's say 59 to a 60K area within the next like a 3 weeks by October 21st and October 22nd. We're gonna get a new candle. If that candle opens, let's say above 60K, that's going to be a big statement regarding the bull market, right? So as you can see right here, we got a nice close above 60K and close above like a 62. So we're looking pretty good right now. So any dips right now could just be a consolidation for the next like a few days of the next 3 weeks candle, right? If we recall right here what we said also back in October 2020, as you can see right here, as now we basically retested the 10.5 right there on the 3 weeks basis. Bang, okay, bang, right? We basically pushed to the upside. That's the same type of price action we got right here. Just retested what the resistance level, just about like a 62K, right? Even pump above 62 all the way up to a 67 and created a new all-time high. So macro scale on the 3 weeks basis, everything we've been looking for is looking great. So I gave you guys all these statements back in September, mid-September. I was like, just stay bullish, guys. Even though, right, we can pull back, let's just stay bullish because the trend could be up over the next like a few days if we close this, if a BTC closes above like a 60K by mid to late October, right? So now let's take a look at the 50-day cycle. The 50-day cycle right here, we also said we just need to close above like a 60K. So even if we didn't close above 60K, we said we still got like a 5 to let's say 7 days to close the 50-day cycle, because the 50-day cycle will close on the 28th, right? So it opened like on back in September right here, like a September 8th, and it's going to close like on October 27th, and we're going to get a new candle on the 28th. So we got like 6 days to close this candle. So we could get a very boring 6 days where price action just going to try to close above 60K. You see what I'm saying? So something to basically keep in mind. Macro scale, it is still up. I don't think the bear market is over yet. The 3 week cycle is bullish. 50-day cycle bullish. Monthly bullish. So I don't see anything bearish. Okay. So 50-day cycle, once we close above 60K, bang, it could be ballistic after that, right? As you can see right here, what we said back in October, as soon as we close above 13K, we said zero resistance. Okay, we're going all the way up to 30K. So we were the first group, right? Back then calling for 30K. Most people were just calling for, let's say 19K, 20K, and dip down to what? 14K. What we were saying was like the macro scale is not a joke. Okay, when it's ready to pump, it will get the job done. Okay, so most likely BTC could get the job done, right? So now let's take a look at BTC on a monthly basis. So we will talk about the bearishness, all right, because we can't be too bullish, right? So we're still going to need to talk about the bearishness and give some credibility to the bears, right, and all that good stuff. when we take a look at BTC on a monthly basis, all right, I hope the sound is good. Hey, what's up, Inter Milan Canada? Thanks a lot for tuning in. Strength in the house. Thanks a lot for tuning in, guys. Let's go. Okay, in the house. I think the sound is good. Quiet cook in the house. Cooking in the kitchen. Hey, Mustaf, thanks a lot for tuning in. Mustaf, SOW. Baibu in the house. All right, so let's take a look at BTC on a monthly basis, right? It is quite interesting to note, like whenever we basically pump above the RSI 70, we tend to go ballistic. Most bears gonna be like, oh, RSI is overextended. But during our previous bull market, we picked like somewhere around like a 95 to a 94 right here. If you take a look at it back in 2017, we picked just about like a 95, all right? Right there back in 2013, we double top at 95. Right now, we got so much room to go, guys. I don't think we're gonna get there in November. Not even in December. I don't even think like we're gonna get there in December, right? Because whenever we break out above 70 on the RSI, it takes like in general at least 3 to 4 months, right? At least, right, to basically hit the peak right there. Okay, if you take a look at it right here, back in 2017, we started pumping above RSI 70, right? Back in December 2016. And as you can see, we picked, in August, right? Back in August 2017. So over like 8 months. So right here, you can see that we started pumping like in October, exactly as we said. Remember, guys, we said we're going to the moon, and guess what? The RSI started pumping above 70, right? Back in October 2020. And bang, we pumped all the way up to like a 94. Once again, we're starting to break out above 70 RSI on the monthly. So sometimes people say, RSI is overextended, but above 70 RSI, even on the low degree, it is a parabolic move. It is a parabolic sign, right? So especially on the weekly, whenever you see a weekly like above like a 70, 74, don't be afraid to be a moon boy, because that's when you get those parabolic moves, like crazy gains in like a 1 week. So as you can see right here, so we could expect RSI to retest the top just about like a 94 to 95, and once we hit like an 84 RSI, probably, right, we could start like to speculate about alt season. Okay, and BTC could after that basically pump with after we hit like a 84, BTC could start like rising slowly in price while the alt dominance decreasing and all that good stuff. So I think the bull market is still on. So I think like it is my own opinion, you can still be bearish, but I'm just telling you what I'm saying right now, and that's exactly what we saw last year back in October 2020, and we pumped all the way up to like what, 65k, right? So it is looking good. So keep an eye on the monthly RSI, still looking good. Once we hit 94, 95, we could start to pack our bags and look into go back go back on earth, right? But as of now, hopefully most of you guys pack your bags already and ready for the moon, right? So now let's go ahead and take a look at BTC, right? Let's go ahead and review the yearly cycle again, right? So when we take a look at BTC on the yearly cycle, what we said, guys, I don't think the yearly cycle will close red. Most bears not paying attention to it, right? What we said, if we take a look at it right here, back in January, we were clear. We said anything at or below 30k going forward. We said it, guys, the first week of January, after the first 7 days candle closed, right? What I said was like, we pumped a lot. Okay, we pumped from 30k to 40, above 42, something like that, right? And I said, as not the candle closed, right? What I said back then was like, now 30k going to be our defensive line. Anything at or below 30k going forward, going to be a steal, right? As you can see, we dumped multiple times. Even the first week of January, the second week of January, till like the third weeks of January, we dumped down to like 30k. And we were buying the dip. That's when Elon Musk started to pump BTC, but we didn't care. We were already ready for like a 60k and all that good stuff. So we said we're going to be buying the dip and we're going to be pushing to the upside. May, June, July, we retested 30k. What we said, we're not going to close this candle red. we won't close this candle red. So we don't have any chance, guys. Probably like a 2% chance, right? 2% chance to close the yearly cycle red, right? So we talk about it, guys. The macro is the king, okay? The macro scale is the king. So as you can see, if we go back and take a look at it, like since when? Since like 2010, right? Have to take a look at it on the BLX. If you take a look at it on the BLX, we only got like 2 bearish cycles on the yearly cycle. So it means, guys, if you're holding BTC right now, I'm just going to repeat it. We got 32 watching. So you got to be the, the luckiest 32. If you're holding any BTC right now, you have to lock it in. Okay, you have to lock it up and put it away and don't touch it. Holding some. If you're holding some, right? It means, like, guys, you basically not even like 1% of the 1% of the world population right now holding some BTC. Okay, especially if you're holding one BTC or higher, right? Because we only got 21 million BTC, right? We only got 21 million BTC. 21 million out of basically 8 billion, guys. That's not even like 1% of 1%. Okay, that's about like a 3% of 1%, something like that, right? So a very, very small percentage of people right now holding BTC. So if you're holding some, you got to lock it up, okay, for the next bull cycle. The next bull cycle could be, guys, above 500,000, like $1 million and all that good stuff. It is not time to talk about those numbers, but you just got to be ready, because we talked about all these numbers back in 2019 when we were talking about BTC 150K. That was like when BTC was like, let's say, 3K, 4K, 5K. Yes, we were bearish back then. Market was bearish, but we said the extension to the upside going to be up to 150K, right? The next extension going to be like almost to a $1 million. It could take like a 5 to 7 years and all that good stuff. But you don't care. You don't control the time. You just control the trend. The trend is up. It's yours. You lock it up. Bang. You don't touch it. Okay. Even if you hold like 10% of your portfolio into BTC, make sure to lock it, guys. Make sure to lock it. Even if BTC drops 50%, you don't care. You just reaccumulate, because you're looking for the next macro trend. This bull market could be over within the next 3 to 6 months. It's not going to last forever, right? And we will drop more than 50% after that, right? So something to keep in mind, the macro trend, it is still up. At some point, we're going to get another red bearish yearly cycle, right? I just don't know when. It could be in 2022 or it could be in 2023. We just don't know. But at some point, we're going to get another one. So we just have to stay focused. Can't be a bull forever, okay? Sometimes you have to take a break, like we did right here, okay? Like BTC did right there, okay? 12-month break, 12-month break, basically 36 months of a bull trend. So our next bear cycle could be at the most, guys, not 36 months, right? 12 months, okay? That's why I'm saying, like, whenever you see BTC drops like more than 90 days, you have to start buying. Whenever you see BTC drops like, let's say, 9 months, you have to start buying. Okay, I said it multiple times, right? On the macro scale, we're looking very, very, very good, right? So now, most of you guys don't care about the yearly cycle. Now let's go ahead and take a look at BTC on the 6-hour time frame, right? Because bears are starting to show up. So right here on the 6-hour time frame, guys, you guys know exactly what we're looking for. It is pretty clear, right? In order to be bearish, right? In order to get a big dump, a reversal pattern, we got to get our moving averages to cross negative, right? Meaning like our 21 EMA over our 50 EMA over our 100 EMA, right? As you can see right now, we're not getting anything close to that. Yes, it doesn't mean price cannot crash, right? Like let's say crash down 15%. We said it last week. We said we will be dumping like let's say 14 to 18% every now and then on our way up to 100K, 150K. So we're not expecting like BTC to pump every day, 10%. Okay, we can pump like let's say 10% in 1 week. Next week, within that 7 days, we can basically dump like a 3 to a 7% and all that good stuff. So basically, that's what we're getting right here. We got a support right now. We broke out below our 21 EMA, right? We know it is okay, right? Fine. We still got our 100 EMA right here, just about like a 56.5. it is going to be moving. So I don't think like it is going to be at 56.5 forever. So expect like if we dump down, starting like from 57.5 to you know, anticipate some support. I'm not saying it will dump, but just anticipate some support. If we dump below you know, 57.5, we could get a support somewhere around that, somewhere around the 6-hour 100 EMA. As I said, if we take a look at it back in October, guys, if we take a look at it right here, back in October 2020, we did have multiple divergences, right? So it is okay. It is okay to get these divergences because we need our RSI and MACD to reset. They can't pump forever. As you can see right there, we dump all the way down to the histogram right here and get another bull crossover. What we said in our premium, bang, we're going to the moon right there. Also, just about like a 13K, 14K, we got a, that's the same exact move we're actually making right now. I showed you guys the other day, right? The double negative cross, the double negative bearish crossover right here, and then dump all the way down to the near the histogram and flip bullish again, right? So right there. So we just about the 50 EMA. So we might not retest the 100 EMA, right? We might not retest the 100 EMA. It's not guaranteed, right? And as you can see, but we've been creating like higher highs right there on our MACD. Even though we created multiple bearishness, all these bearishness, if you combine them, you know, give you what? A bullish pattern, higher highs, right? So we can just rely right now, you know, on our first, let's go back to the, on our first bearish divergence right here. That's our first one. We just don't know how many we're gonna get, right? We could get like what, another 3. So it means that we could be going to the moon, right? So let's say, you know, if we get another bullish crossover right here, we could pump right there and basically create another one right there where we're going to be making somewhat higher highs, right? And MACD going to flip positive again, and we're going to pump right here, and we're going to do something like that, and so on and so forth, right? You get the concept, right? So we're not going to be pumping forever in a straight line, right? So do not expect a straight pump all the way up to wherever we're going, $1 million or whatever, $1 billion. If you're an XRP moon boy, you might be calling for 589 billion Bitcoin, right? So you get the joke, right? So so basically that's what I'm looking for. Support, we at primary support right now. I would say secondary support. Primary support was like 62.4, 62.5. That's secondary support. Our tertiary support going to be the 6-hour 100 EMA. Okay, I wouldn't worry too much about anything in between unless we retest the 6-hour 100 EMA right there. So no need to be rushing the market. It is already Friday. We already got a 7-day cycle. We will talk about the 7-day cycle. I told you about the 7-day cycle. Either market will start slowly or market will pump whenever we start the 7-day cycle, right? So we're looking good. I don't see anything bearish, extremely bearish. Short term, yes, bearish divergence, but you know exactly what to expect if we gotta, you know, if we got to be in a bull run, right? So now let's go ahead and take a look at the 7-day cycle. So the 7-day cycle right here, guys, we got our defensive line, okay? These 27% pump, you don't mess with them, okay? You do not mess with them. Whenever you see them, you know it is bullish, okay? That's exactly what I told you guys when BTC broke out at 53, all the way up to 53, 54, before we closed the 7-day cycle. I was like, guys, we're going to the moon, and we got like 2 weeks to close our 3-week cycle also by the 21st of October. So we're going to stay bullish within the next like 2 weeks. And our upside target is clear, guys. Nothing complicated. We're just looking for swing low to swing high. And we're going to be looking for 1.27 to 1.41 on the log scale. Okay. If you're a moon boy, you can use the log scale. If you don't want to be a moon boy, you can use the linear scale. You just double click on your Fibonacci, right, and uncheck the fib levels based on log scale, right, and you're going to get a linear move to the upside. The linear 1.27 going to be 75k, and the 1.41 going to be 80, just by 80k. So it is still going to cover our 81 target, even if we use the log scale. So it really doesn't matter. Once again, it is not a target to call for the top. It is just a directional move. Because if you got in, since we talk about it on the 6-hour time frame right here, what we said, it is time to stay bullish. It is still bullish. We got to get some short-term pullbacks. We got to get some short-term pullbacks for, moon boys to jump in, right? And all that good stuff, because they missed the boat. They've been calling for, tops at 48, 53, 61, and they ended up calling for like a 68, 69 now. What we've been calling was like, stay with the trend. We don't care how high it can go. We're just going to stay with the trend till we get what, a bearishness, right? And we're going to start like looking down. Okay, it's not time to look down so far, right? So if you take a look at it right here, so 1.27 up to 1.41 on a macro scale going to be just about like a 91k. Okay, 91k. So now we talk about the 7-day cycle and how important the 7-day cycle is, right? The 7-day cycle opens on Friday because January 1st was a Friday, right? So every Friday we will get a new 7-day cycle. It is very important, guys. Even though the weekly, my only concern regarding the weekly closure above the all-time high was like, I was saying like the 7-day cycle needs to close above all-time high. As you can see right here, we didn't close above all-time high. So hopefully within the next like a few days, we can get a candle close above the all-time high on a 7-day basis. Okay, because that's where we start when we started dumping on the 16th, right, of April, right there, and we could not get a candle. We could not get a candle close above it, right? Even though the weekly closed above it, right? The regular weekly did close above right here, 60k, but the 7-day cycle is not. So we still got a little bit work to do going forward, right? Going forward, right? So now the next cycle we will take a look at, it is going to be the 2D time frame. The 2D time frame is very important. After the 6-hour time frame, what we look at? We look at the 3D time frame, right? Right here, after we cross bullish, right, back in let's say October 2nd, right? What we said was like, let's wait for the next couple of days as we basically going to be correcting right here. We will wait for the 2D time frame to flip bullish all the way up to 48 and so on. Once the MACD flip positive, right, on the 4th, we said, guys, that's it. No need to be looking down anymore. We got our MACD right here. Okay, on the 2D basis, just flip positive. So we're going to stay, bullish and go with the trend. Okay, go with the trend. So we're still bullish. So if you like the 2D time frame, you could potentially wait for 54. I'm not sure if we're gonna get it. In order to get it, it means like our negative crossovers right here has to take place right there. Okay, these guys have to cross negative like that, just like what happened right here, in order for us to rely on our 2D time frame. Okay, so if we get any dumps right before our 6-hour time frame crosses negative, it means like we will get a pullback. Do you see what I'm saying? So if BTC, let's say BTC dumps like all the way down to like a 54, right, within the next like a couple of days, whatever. I'm not saying it will, but if it does, it means like it is going to be a great opportunity to buy the dips, because our indicators will need to cool off. Okay, they have to cool off. So any dips down to 54 unexpectedly has to be a bullish buying opportunity, right? So I'm not saying it will, but I'm prepared. You see what I'm saying? I'm prepared. If it does, we know exactly it is going to be, by the dip type of a structure, right? So I think that's it, guys. We talk about the monthly, we talk about the yearly, we talk about the 50-day cycle, we talk about the 21-day cycle, the 7-day cycle, 6-hour time frame, daily cycle, and all that good stuff. The daily doesn't look bad, right? It is just about like the daily 21 EMA, just about like 57, and we talk about the 6-hour time frame, 100 EMA being just about like a 56 and a half. So you could basically use either the daily or the 6-hour if you're comfortable with the daily time frame, right? So overall, the trend, it is still up. I'm still bullish. I don't think we will crash down to 30k at any given time. Anything can happen, but that's my personal opinion. So let me know what you think in the comment section. If you think like BTC will crash down to 30K before end of the year and all that good stuff, right? Tala in the house, thanks a lot for tuning in. Baba Yaga in the house, thanks a lot for tuning in. Mehdi in the house. Name the trade in the house. Thanks a lot, Mehdi. Name the trade. Hey, what's up, Craig? Hank Doster in the house. Thanks a lot, man. Humi. Oh, Humi is an ICP Moonboy now. Thanks a lot for tuning in, Humi. Nate in the house. Aldo, my Italian gangster in the house. Thanks a lot for tuning in. Aldo Moonboy. If you think like DenXRP is a Moonboy, you must not know Aldo. Aldo is the moonest Moonboy. What would mark the end of the bull run? I don't know exactly when the bull run would end. No one can tell you exactly, right? But based on our previous bull markets, right? We know exactly like we've been looking for one, not one-to-one extension, but we've been looking for 0.786 extension, right? Or we could look for 1.41 extension to the upside based on the first wave, right here. The first wave is started just about a 0.01, right? And second wave all the way up to $32, and third wave down to like $2, right? If we extend that wave, we could anticipate 1.41 extension being our next Fibonacci. We've been respecting every single Fibonacci's to the upside. 0.618 is right there, right? That's our 0.618, just about like a 3K area. 0.786, just about like 11K. 120 extension, 11K. Actually, $300, excuse me, right here. I'm so bullish, man. Right there, 1100, right? And 6K average support right there. And you can see like right there, we also got 1.27 extension at just about like a 60K. So 1.41 extension to the upside going to be at 180K, right? So if you want to do it that way, however, if you want to do it differently, like I was doing it back in 2019, like I was doing it back in 2019, you could just use the 0.786 extension, right? Meaning like our last bull run right here started from like $150 all the way up to 20K down right here. If we want to get 80% of this move right here, 80% of this move to the upside, right? Going to take us all the way up to like 100, and right there, right? Going to be our 0.786 extension, right? 120 extension going to be somewhere around like 300K, but I don't want to be focusing too much around like a 200K and all that good stuff. Okay, so in terms of timing, I don't do time analysis. I don't do like macro like a time analysis. Like we're gonna get to like 150K in like a December or February and all that good stuff. Yes, I follow the 50-day cycle, but those cycles are pretty short, and you can basically predict or like analyze the market based on those closures, right? But based on directional move, I would say 130 to 150 could be a safe range to start like a speculating about a market top. Right? Could it go higher? Yes, it can go still. It can still go to like 180, or even like the plan B is saying like a 230, whatever, 250, or even 300K. I just don't know. But based on my own personal analysis, I think anything above like a 150 could be a very dangerous zone to be fully loaded in crypto. Okay, got to take some profits. Once BTC hits like 150K, probably going to pull back down, right? And auto will be pumping, but within that short window of time, right? Let's say 30 days to a maximum 60 days, you got to basically be very focused and take some profits because the dump will be fast. It's just like what happened back in May. You won't get time to react. You won't get time to do anything, right? You're gonna see these suckers like dumping like 40%, 50%, and you're gonna be like, what I'm gonna do now? They dump like 40% already, so I have to wait for a pullback. And the pullback might only be like a 15, 20%. And you're gonna still be waiting for, high prices, right? We seen it back in 2017. It moves very fast, man. The end of the bull run, you got to be mentally ready. You're gonna make a lot of profits, right? That's guaranteed at the end of the bull run. Some of these suckers will pump like a 10, 20, 30x in like a week or 2 weeks. Okay. Some of them will 100x in like a 30 days. I've seen it, guys. I'm telling you, they will. But you got to be mentally ready. Stay with your strategy. Don't follow like the moon trend. At the end of the bull market, you're gonna get new coins, right? More people will be talking about new stuff like new Shiba 2.0, Dogecoin 2.0, or whatever, Dogecoin 3.0. And you might be thinking like, okay, everything is going 100x, so Dogecoin 3.0 will go 100x. You might be buying Dogecoin 3.0, bang, that's the end of the bear market, and you have to hold it for another 3 years, 4 years. So I said it, guys. September, October, it is a good time, right, to strategize. Get your plan ready. Buy your assets and wait for the moon analysis. We've done it before. We've done it multiple times since like 2019, guys. Especially last year, February 2020, bang, we were bullish on alt, big pump. May 2020, bang, we were bullish on alt, big pump. August, October, we were bullish, right? But we got wrecked all the way down to like a December. You know what I mean? Like, meaning like we had to basically hold these alt till like December. Like multiple alt, like FET, guys. We are starting to be bullish on it like November, but it did dump, right? Till basically December and so on. FTM, but afterward, CELR, all of them, they're now like a 50x. But we started talking about these alt like October, November 2020, right? And in 2021, they're already bullish. If we take a look at FTM, BTC right here, if we take a look at it on a 3D basis, as I showed you right here, guys, FTM was one of the most bullish pattern, CELR, FET, right there. That's when we started talking about FTM, the first week of November, guys. I can even show you in my premium right there, first week of November. Our target was nothing, guys, but up. We were looking for like a, 1500 sats and all that good stuff. And this guy was like, 200 sats. So you got to be bullish when alt are at the bottom. You don't want to be too bullish when they way up. Okay. So, and let's take a look at CELR also. Next time I'm gonna show you these alt, right? The initial setups back in November, right here, the first week of November, guys, right there, guys. I was mentally ready for this pump, and we dumped all the way down to like a 15 sats, and we were ready for it. We said it is okay. What we're looking for is a big move to the upside. We're looking for 10 to 20x move. I mean 8 to 10x move. So even if we dump down, we can still accumulate down to like a 13 sats on average, and we're gonna get the 10x move to the upside. Bang! This sucker is still pumping, right? So be ready. Be ready. All season gonna be here, and we're all going to have a moon party. Sometime within the next like a few months, right? So now let's go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and take a look. I'm gonna go ahead and take a look at the alt requests, and we're gonna talk about all the good stuff, right? So XRP 589. We're gonna take a look at XRP. I'm just gonna put 589. XLM, ICX, ICP, ICP. Hey, what's up, Wonder Boy? Thanks a lot for tuning in, man. Wonder Boy, Moon Boy. Yeah, ICP will moon. What I was afraid of ICP doing versus BTC, that's what is he doing right now, breaking out below 80,000 sats. but it is okay. We've seen it last year on this guy, Ethereum Classic. If you guys been watching me enough, I said multiple times, Ethereum Classic support is like 45,000 to 55,000. Let's go ahead and double check it right here. So if you've been following me long enough, you know we said Ethereum Classic support 45,000 right here. And it is pretty normal to always anticipate what, the support to hold. But guess what? This guy dumped hard below support, like nearly 60%. Right? So if you give up, sucker pump like a 15x after that. Okay. So even if you held, you held your position from like the support area, you still manage to get like a 5x pump. And even if you get out early, right, you still can manage to get like a 4x, right? And if you basically accumulate at the bottom and get a nice average of 30,000, bang, you got a 6-7x, right? So it will pump. It is just a matter of time. Zilliqa. So let's go ahead and take a look at 589. Ah, man, got me typing 589, man. So let's go ahead and take a look at 589 on the macro scale. So on a macro scale, regarding XRP, what we're saying is like, it is a good time to buy. We know it will pump. We know XRP will get the job done. I don't have no doubt about that, right? But the problem is it has to be bullish versus BTC, right? And our next upside target going to be somewhere around like 9,000 to a 10,000 area right there versus BTC. So accumulation range, it is under accumulation, right? However, if BTC breaks out above like a 70K, 80K, 100K, XRP is likely to lose some value, okay, versus BTC. It can still go up in USD, but versus BTC, it might be, down. So what I'm saying is like, just be patient with it. If you see those big dump like a 20% versus BTC, you got to be accumulating more XRP, right? Not financial advice, right? And we could be looking for the target all the way up to 10K area. So that's what I see regarding XRP. Not sure when we're gonna get to 20,000 to 25,000 sats, but anything is possible. But I'd be happy with 10,000. Okay, I'd be happy with 10,000. So now let's go ahead and take a look at XLM. XLM and XRP, they do have a similar price pattern, price behavior, and price target too, right? So same type of a level of resistance we're going to be looking for XLM all the way up to 3,000. 3,000, I would say it is moderate, but we just have to suck it up right here. Make sure to take some profits. Can it go higher? Yes, but have to take profits once we hit like a 3,000 sats. Okay, so if you're accumulating right now 600 sats, 700 sats, 700 sats, can it dump lower? Yes, it can, right? But you can't just follow the downtrend all the time, right? Sometimes you got to get in at the right time, right? And let the markets do the work, right? Versus BTC, it is not, I'm not looking for a crazy move. It is only like a 400%, a 4x, 5x versus BTC, right? But let's say it can do more than 4x, 5x, right? The other probability is like we dump down lower, right, below support, and then get the big move. That's also possible. So save some energies, right? And just in case we get the dump below 350 sats, that way you're gonna get the bigger move, right? Just in case. I'm not saying it will, but these guys are crazy, right? Now let's go ahead and take a look at ICX. We will take a look at Shiba after. ICX BTC. So ICX BTC, we did have a nice pump, and what we're saying is like we gotta take out our 9,000 to 10,000 sats, which is our March 2019 resistance right here, right? So we got to take it out, and after that we could be looking for the 16,000 and 24,000 sats later on. So it is still under accumulation. If you're holding ICP, right, ICX, excuse me, if you've been holding ICX over the last let's say 2 years, right, since like August 2019, it's not doing well versus BTC. It's only like up 100%. So if you put in like, let's say 1 BTC back then, now you got 2 BTC worth of ICX, right? So not bad, okay? Not bad, but it could do better. It could do better, right? So we just don't know how long the reaccumulation going to last, okay? Could we dump back down to support? Absolutely, we could. Absolutely, we could dump down to support and get that move, right? Till we break out above like a 6,000, it is hard to basically tell, and it will, okay, it will break out. That's the same setup we got on Shiba, but on the lower degree, like on the daily time frame. Remember, we started buying Shiba somewhere around like 700, right, 800, and it dumped down to like a 500, right, and pump all the way up to 3,000. That's the same exact setup, okay, same exact setup, right? So I was confident Shiba, will break out to the upside, and we talked about Shiba back in August, okay. So if you've been holding Shiba back then, 700 average, guys, you're up like 5x, okay? So let's go ahead and take a look at Shiba. Okay, let's go ahead and do this. 1,000 Shiba. So if you take a look at Shiba, let's do it right here so you guys can get the initial setup. So Shiba, that's what we said in our premium, right? That was right here, first week of August. So when I was in Spain, I was like, okay, that's our macro consolidation. Okay, it's been consolidating for like, since like May, over 90 days, right? And we back to the resistance level right here. So before we break out, let's just reaccumulate it right here, right? Just by like a 700, 800 range, right? So, but take a look at it, sucker dump right there. That's how I knew this move, the consolidation might be over and we could be breaking out to the upside. So what we said was like, if we break out above 1300 right here, because our first target was at 11 to 1300, we're going to get our macro target to the upside. Bang. So now our macro support going to be 21, right? 2100 down to 1800, right? Or the daily 2D 21 EMA. Okay. The 2D 21 EMA will provide support, right? We just don't know when the 2D 21 EMA going to be, joining the price action, join the party right here. But if it does, if we dump down to it, we're going to the moon, okay? We're going to the moon. As long as we stand above it, we got a pretty good chance to basically see high prices, right? So okay, I like Firo. Firo, it is a premium target. I talked about Firo 2 months ago, and it was like, I think like 14,000, something like that. Yeah, and reaccumulation start like 13,000. We just pumped like 18,000, but came back down. So Firo, it is still a good hold for the next alt season. So let's go ahead and take a look at ICP. You are probably a moon boy, so let's take a look at ICP USD. So ICP USD, we do have a nice bull divergence right there, okay, both on the daily and on the 2D basis. So 2D bull divergence looks pretty juicy, right? Doesn't look like it will fail to a breakout, but if it does, we still got our support right here. The macro support $30, 28 on average. So if you accumulate anywhere around like a 32 to a 28, it is still a good hold in that range. Okay, we could be like Shiba, where we basically get this move like that, or even potentially retest it quickly and pump to the upside. That's possible. Or we could just retest this range and pump to the upside, right? But as of now, since like we got a nice bull divergence on our 2D basis, it is hard to say we will be dumping. So I'm still bullish, right? I'm still bullish on it. So let's take a look at ICP, BTC, ENJ. Engine. So ICP, BTC, what I was afraid of was like to break out below the support area right here. Right? We said if we break out below 80,000 sats, we might as well just let it go down. Okay, and it could dump like 50% below support right here, right? So we only dump like 28 to dump 50% of 45, give or take. It could be anywhere around like a 40,000 to a 50,000 if we do not get a big volume reversal pattern. Okay, it only means like BTC could be very strong. Okay, very strong. That's why I'm bullish on BTC, because this alt, they're showing a bullishness. Like ICP is showing a 2D bull divergence, right, in USD, but versus BTC, it is showing like a potential capitulation. So it means like, you know, BTC USD is extremely bullish. Okay, very bullish. So, but let's see how it will play out, right? So ICP, we just got to get back above the 2D 21, and we could start a new bull trend. We could still go all the way up to like a 300,000, or even all the way up to like a 700,000 right there. Okay, 600 to a 700,000. So the big resistance going to be 300,000. Right now we're at 70,000. So we still got a lot of work to do. Right here, we got a 3x move just to get back to a 300,000. So let's go ahead and take a look at Engine. I've been talking about Engine for a very long time. Might not be the season yet. This when this sucker was pumping. So target was there, was like right there at 65 to 5,500 range. Okay. So right now we're starting to create a short-term bull divergence, right, on our 2D basis, right there. So it looks good. Reaccumulation right here. So it is a support. So give it some time to see if we can stay in this range till we start the new alt season. Okay. But versus BTC, like I said, these guys, they will pump back to resistance, but they will not pump forever above resistance. So even if we get this pump, it could be a double top, and during the next bear market, you could be buying at the bottom. That's why you got to be reading the BTC chart. Okay, so something to keep in mind within the next like a few months or even years. If you see it back down to like a 400 sats, 500 sats, BTC might be like 200K, 300K, right? So you know, you might be, you know, reaccumulating again. That's why I'm saying you got to hold some BTC for the next like a big alt season when everything dumps back down to support. You see what I'm saying? So you got to hold some BTC always, guys. Always. Okay, always. Okay. So, but it looks good. We got our resistance right here. I don't think we will be breaking out forever. So is a 100% move. It could break out up to 1.27 to 1.41, but macro wise, even if we do something like that, you want to be reaccumulating right here, okay, in 2023, 2024, and all that good stuff, and wait, you know, be ready for the 2025 bull market. Now I think let's go ahead and talk about Zilliqa being under the radar, but I'm very bullish on Zilliqa. It is, you know, it is also a macro. We do have a macro setup for Zilliqa. So bull, let's take a look at the 3D. So Zilliqa looks pretty good. Our macro support going to be somewhere around like a 45 to 60. I don't think we will retest it. Right there, we reacted very quickly, right? That's what I was anticipating right there to retest the 50 to 70 sats. It did. It didn't retest it, but VChain did. Okay, VChain did. So and they move together right now. Okay, they move together in terms of like a sats and dollars also, right? So support going to be 100 sats. Excuse me, 100 sats give or take, right? Just by like 100 to 120 sats. We don't want to break it. If we break it, you could get a better chance somewhere around like 45 to 60 sats, right? But next macro resistance going to be 600 sats right there. Both of VChain and Zilliqa. I think VChain could hit like 1,000, but we will see. Okay, so be ready for alt season. Once we start like retesting 100 sats, and I even guarantee we will. But if we do, you got to suck it up. Okay, not financial advice, right? Hank, thanks a lot for tuning in. Zilliqa RSR. Let's take a look at Fyro. Fyro used to be what? Zcoin, right? So Fyro, it is still down. Take a look at it on a 3 weeks basis. Yeah, we got a lot of work to do. Our 3 weeks time frame, it is still bullish right here. It is still trending up. It is still trending up, right? So what we said is like 13,000 sats and below going to be support. Okay, we just don't want to break out below because it means that we might be waiting longer. But the 3 weeks time frame looks good, right? MACD on a 3 weeks basis is not showing any sign of like a bull breakout. It is showing like a sign of reaccumulation. It is a privacy coin, so when it pumps, it will pump big because it has a low supply, right? So volume is low, so it looks pretty decent, not showing a sign of a big breakout so far. So don't be FOMOing on those big pumps. We were already ready, for the 13,000 sats, 10,000 sats, right? So don't just sit like a pumping and then you go ahead and jump in and get wrecked. Have to be buying at the bottom. Yeah. So BTC is strong right now. So if you want to wait, you can still wait for the 10,000 sats, right? So let's go ahead and let's take a look at Farm USD. Oh, now let's move on to the BTC dominance. Thanks a lot, Rowan, for reminding me about the BTC dominance. So the BTC dominance, it doesn't drop like that. You can just say like, oh, the BTC dominance is dumping. So it takes time to dump. Take time for it takes time. Okay. So we just got a pullback right here. As I said, guys, once we hit like a 47.5, 48 range, alt will fight back. Okay, and we could dump just back, we could dump back down to the 21 EMA. Right now it is at 44.4, right? So it is going to be a good news, right? But it is not going to be a definite, it is not going to be definitely the reversal we will be looking for. As you can see right here, I talked about it back in I talked about it last week regarding what we had right here back in November, right? First week of November, right here, late October. What happened? We started to see alt season, right? To to start building up, right? Right there. Okay, that's when we got our first alt season pump, right? And we got our second alt pump like October 27th. You guys can go back and check it, right? October, we talked about all of these good stuff back in November when alt were pumping. So we were expecting alt to pump back then, okay, and I sent a lot of setups, right, and all to pump nicely. We dump back down to the 21 EMA and basically pump right back up to like a 73%. So it is just a short-term pullbacks. So the BTC dominance, it is still up. We still have to wait for a clear confirmation, okay? And it could do something like this, right? And still pump right here and dump fast, right? So, and that's what I'm expecting. But let's see. I've seen other bulls calling for a extended C wave like that, It's possible, right? It's possible. It means that BTC could pump a lot higher than 150K, if that's the case. If we're going all the way up to like a 55, 60%, right? Which is going to be good, in the short to medium term, right? I mean, in the short term, it is going to be bad, but I would say medium to long term, it will be great for alt, because alt will get a better chance to pump a lot by dumping the BTC dominance nearly 40% later on. So the BTC dominance, it is still up. So stay bullish on BTC and reaccumulate alt slowly as they go down, right? So now let's go ahead and move on to a form. So form, it is still under accumulation right here. So just give it time. It is still accumulating. Our bottom right there, it is right there, just about like 150 up to 165, going to be the bottom, right? It is a little bit choppy. It is not showing a trend yet, right? So let's see form BTC. Form BTC, form BTC is basically showing a better trend, even though it is down. As you can see, our MACD, it is still pumping to the upside with some high lows right there. Okay, so we're still making some low lows, right? We got our high lows right there, and we could definitely look for a potential trend reversal, but we're gonna need all our moving averages basically to cross cross negative, right, at some point. I mean cross positive at some point, and we're going to be calling for a moonshot. So just give it time over the next like a few days once we start the alt season. Still waiting for the XTZ breakout. I'm not selling my XTZ at $10, man. Maybe you are. I mean, we talked about it when XTZ was at $2, $3 back in December, guys. Accumulate XTZ at $2 to $3. Right? I got a target up to $80. So I'm not selling at $10. Okay. LCX. LCX Ether, I gave you an analysis regarding the 40,000 resistance, right? Let's take a look at it on the daily, because we talked about the daily being daily going to, is that it? Let's see. Yeah, that is it, right? Yeah, it looks pretty good. I mean, it just broke out nicely. And I think target I gave you was like 40,000, something like that, right? But it pumped like to a 50,000, and we said daily 21 EMA going to be the next support, and it looks pretty good. It looks like we can even rely on our 2D time frame. Let's check it on the 2D. Yeah, looks pretty good. I don't know where we got this parabolic move from, when we got this parabolic move, but you know, if you had asked me about it back in November, I would tell you like to suck it up because we got a parabolic move to the downside. We will get another parabolic move. This pattern is just a beautiful pattern. Okay, we nailed it once again on CALR, FET, IOSD, right? FTM. They all give us the same pattern right here, and that's the same pattern. Let's talk about it before I forget. Right, AMP. I think AMP. I did the analysis for 666 Moonboy. Take a look at it on the 3D. Yeah, so AMP, a beautiful pattern also, right? I know it pumped a lot, but it is also dumping a lot in terms of like a parabolic move to the downside, right? So if we get any chance to even like get it down to like I would say 25 to 15, that's going to give us what, our parabolic move to the downside. It is still good level. It is still at a good level to start accumulating, right? 50 to 80 sats. Right now we at 80 sats, right? So it is still a good level to start accumulating. So we're going to get another parabolic move. We just don't know when, but we will get another parabolic move. So just have to wait for the 3D time frame to start like giving us those bullish divergences and all that good stuff, and price action above the 21 EMA, and we're going to say, hey, it is time to buckle up, right? The AMP for, if you're looking for a macro target, like within the next like a few months or even a few years, if you're looking for those big gains, keep an eye on it versus BTC. It is not a short-term trade, so you don't need to like watch it every day. You just have to set your orders and leave it, or just buy some right here, reaccumulate at 50 sats, and after that you forget it and let it, if it dumps down to a 25, you reaccumulate again, and you're going to get a nice average for the next bull pump. All right guys, I'm just gonna call it a day. It is already 1 hour of live streaming. We talk about BTC and all that good stuff. On the macro scale, on the lower time frame, we talk about a lot of alt and all that good stuff, right? All right guys, thanks a lot for watching.